We need to talk about Vexcalibur. And even though I know most of you are like Cross, I've got enough glaives in my arsenal, I don't need another one. Listen, that's fair. But for the rest of us that actually like to use glaives, and I'm also a big fan of craftable exotics, Vexcalibur here has been kind of bamboozling us. Now, the exotic Vexcalibur is the new void exotic glaive obtainable through the new exotic mission node, Override Avalon. This is available in the EDZ. We already made a full guide on how to obtain this glaive plus the catalyst. So if you haven't actually gotten it, feel free to check out that guide. But this is very similar to last season's featured exotic revision 0, as in Vexcalibur is craftable. Besides your normal lineup of perks, it also has several catalysts to choose from and weapon frames that you can upgrade week to week, essentially those intrinsics. Now, these are usually time gated, and after each weekly reset, when you run the exotic mission again, you have the opportunity to earn the exotic upgrades, except this week, that wasn't the case, which literally makes no sense because every single week is supposed to unlock a new intrinsic. So what happened? First up, if you're looking just to acquire the new catalyst for Vexcalibur, which this week is Grave Robber, you just simply need to complete the exotic mission on legend difficulty. I do want to mention that this is a very difficult quest, so I do highly recommend having a full team for this, unless of course you're utilizing our Synthocept Winter Bite build, which completely shreds the boss down. Now, you don't actually have to do this right now. You can wait until next week when the final catalyst unlocks, and as long as you progress all the related quests, you can actually get 3 in one run. This, of course, would save you a lot of time for people who just want to run the legendary just once and then get out. However, the intrinsic upgrade for Vexcalibur is usually much easier to get your hands on. Matter of fact, when you look at Revision 0, the intrinsics for that were also very easy to get your hands on. We've had multi-step quests both weeks that we picked up from the war table, and all it requires us to do is just kill several Vex with the Vexcalibur and then simply run through the exotic mission on any difficulty to unlock a secret chest and complete the mission. However, this week, we opened a secret chest, but no intrinsic trait. And this is a big deal because you need the intrinsic trait, guys, to unlock the other perks. And the big question we have, are we going to get stat differences and changes with each one of these intrinsic unlocks? Just imagine what Revision 0 was at base and then what it grew and blossomed to. The traits opened up, the stats got substantially better. You may not like Vexcalibur as of now, but in its final form, this may be a hell of a glaive. Now, in our run, we got Grave Robber and its catalyst, no problem. But then after asking around, scouring the internet, and then combing through this entire mission ourselves, no one has the intrinsic upgrade. Unless everyone actually does have it and we're just the only ones that don't, and this is just a huge joke. By the way, if you have the 3rd intrinsic upgrade, please let us know. We would really appreciate it. Now, this is all very odd considering when you look in the crafting table at the Enclave, the mere distribution matrix upgrade just says intrinsic not acquired and found by exploring the depths of Node Overload Avalon. In stark contrast to what is supposed to be next week's unlock, which says currently blocked by a Vex signal, meaning next week's is time gated, but this week's isn't. This wouldn't be a big deal if the rest of the glaive wasn't tied to the intrinsic unlocks. Again, we cannot actually add mag perks and stock perks to this glaive until we get these other intrinsics unlocked. And we're not even talking about the potential stat bumps. What's even more confusing is the additions we got to the exotic mission this week. There are actually 3 secrets that are all solvable after you finish and applied the expert authorization mod to the glaive. Now, each of these secrets gives you a chest to open similar to last week's intrinsic upgrade, but none rewards you with the new intrinsic, just a triumph and some lore dialogue, which is pretty juicy. Now, this leads us to believe that the drop is currently bugged, as literally all signs point to us getting that intrinsic this week, and considering we got the catalyst, normally it's 1 for 1, like with Revision 0, you got the intrinsic and the catalyst at the same time, and then in the next week, you got the next new catalyst with the next intrinsic, and so on and so forth. It doesn't make sense for Bungie to just be like, yo, here's the exotic catalyst, but no intrinsics. And if you're like Cross, that just sounds like a crazy bug. Dude, Iron Banner literally launched yesterday for all of 10 minutes. There is no such thing as crazy bugs in Destiny. Now, I'm hoping this conundrum is solved soon, but until then, what we can give you is a short guide on how to complete the 3 secret triumphs that were added this week, so you can be fully prepped in case the intrinsic is fixed and add it back as a reward for completing these. Now, keep in mind, you must complete the expert mod authorization quest before you can complete all of these secrets. Again, it's very short. Just kill some Vex, equip the mod on the glaive. Now we're going to start with triumph number 1, Aberrant Subject. After loading into the mission and passing the first Vex Mirage of Asher Mir in the skinny hallway after the Vex Harpies, you're going to drop down. But instead of going straight to the bottom, look for a ledge with a green button on it. You're going to activate the button, and when you progress forward, you're going to see a hobgoblin stuck behind a Vex shield. remote. You're gonna then look directly up, and if you jump, you're gonna see a second green button. Interact with this button to free the hobgoblin, and when he disappears, a chest will spawn in his place. Now, triumph number 2, disposal subject. After completing the conflux encounter, you'll progress forward until you see a Vex shield that you can bypass with the block on Vexcalibur. Now, following this path will lead you to another green button next to a group of goblins that are like trapped behind this Vex shield. Now, pushing the button will spawn a Vex conflux above. Now, to solve this puzzle, you'll need a key code similar to the previous encounters. Now, if you head back the way you came and look up, you'll see a platform in the sky with the code hidden on the top. Now, you can actually get to this spot really from the side where the conflux spawns, and you can just climb these ledges, and there'll be a ledge that automatically comes out and then goes back in. It'll push you out, so jump on it and then proceed to jump up. You can actually hop over the top if you're using grapple and make it to that platform. At the same time, guys, you can just literally go back and just grapple straight to that platform. It's just cooler to parkour. Now, after you get this code, which by the way is different every single time, you need to shoot the shapes in the correct order. However, the triangle will require Vexcalibur to break, so make sure someone has the exotic on to complete the sequence. Now, upon putting in the correct code, the conflux will disappear and a chest will spawn. Now, moving on to triumph number 3. The last triumph is really easy. After completing the corrupted data management encounter, you're gonna start parkouring to the final boss. But on your way there, you should see a triangle Vex node. You probably saw it in the previous week. We were not able to actually shoot this thing. Now you can though with the new mod on Vexcalibur. You're simply gonna shoot it, and there's actually gonna be 3 nodes in total. The other 2 are actually in very close proximity. The second is hidden under the platform, like where you shoot it. If you look straight down, you'll see it. And the third is hidden in a crevice in the wall above you when you descend down the wall of the opening and closing platforms. You'll actually see a Vex goblin right next to it. Now, breaking all 3 will spawn a chest on the main platform that you just landed on, which will complete that 3rd triumph. Currently right now, these are all the secrets we know so far. Last week, we did the data retrieval substrate triumph to get the first intrinsic upgrade. Again, guys, if you haven't checked out our guide, feel free to check that one out. Now, with all that being said, with the last week's and this week's triumphs, there are currently 3 secret triumphs left. So essentially, similar to what you see here, 3 more secrets that will become available to unlock next week. Our question still remains, are we gonna get the new intrinsic before then? Is this actually bugged, or is this just some weird 2-week time gate thing that absolutely makes no sense? Only time will tell. We'll continue to update you, and again, if you have any information on this, feel free to come by our Discord. You can let us know over there, or you can even comment it on this video right here. All that I ask is that you don't troll. I can't tell you how many times I have been rickrolled in the past 24 hours. I'm literally about to ban that link. But for real though, guys, if you have any information, whether it's Discord, here in the comments section, or over on our Twitter, please let us know. I desperately want the final form of this exotic. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.